Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about Farrah Abraham. I've never covered her on my channel, and I had some thoughts about a recent article that came out regarding her homeschooling her daughter. So I had a couple thoughts. If you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys. So most of you probably know Farrah Abraham. She is one of the Teen Mom stars. I don't even like to call her a star because honestly, I don't think she's a good representation of what someone with a platform should be, but that could also apply to a lot of other influencers. She is well known from her time on Teen Mom. She's well known for being extremely toxic and erratic is the best way that I can explain her personality. And she's one of those people that reality TV loves because she will fly off the handle, she will get physical, she will walk out of a scene, she will stop recording, she'll quit a show, all the above. And reality TV loves people like that. Reality TV loves toxicity, they love drama. That's obviously why a lot of shows are watched, is because of the fighting and the yelling and hurting each other, and it's entertaining for some people. Me personally, I don't really watch a lot of reality TV. I think that it had its day back in kind of the mid to late 2000s. I used to watch the Newlyweds on MTV. I used to watch Girls Next Door. I've mentioned that before. So I have watched a handful of shows, but I never really got into the Teen Mom saga. I think I watched a couple seasons and then I kind of tuned out once I realized that it was just the same drama over and over again. And it's just not entertaining to me. So I'm not saying that it's the worst thing ever. A lot of people like the show, but for my personal preferences, I just felt like it should have ended 7 years ago, and it's still going on right now on MTV. So Farrah is one of the kind of standouts of all the teen moms that have ever been on the show. And it's because of the way that she was, I don't even want to say the way that she was portrayed, because I believe in real life she is just as toxic as she was shown to be on the show. But she definitely stood out because of her toxic traits and her overall vile personality. Now, a lot of people have criticized her for things that I don't really think that you should be criticized for. She definitely she had an adult film come out, at least one that I know of. Again, I don't follow her on a consistent basis, but I know that she had one kind of film come out, and a lot of people criticized her for that. Look, I'm never going to be here to talk down about or slam sex workers. I think that it's a legitimate job, just like someone who might work as a receptionist or a cafeteria, lunch lady. Like all you're making income. It's just a little bit of a, I guess, what some people would consider a different industry. So as I was saying, I'm not going to be here to shame her for what she did. Now, also in the same sentence, I need to say that Shannon Rose also comes to mind. Now, the reason that Shannon Rose received criticism from me was the type of films that she was participating in, not the fact that she was in them, but the fact that she was right in the middle of very, very hurtful type of adult films for, we went over it. It was the racist, disgusting films that she was in, not the fact that she was actually in them. And I know that a lot of people will say, oh, well, it's just acting. I disagree, but we are all entitled to our own opinions. As a general consensus, though, I don't think that just the fact that she has an OnlyFans or, made this movie, or even if there were more movies that I just don't know about, that's not something that I'm going to criticize her for, because it's not something that I will ever care about. I don't care. Get your money. Don't be racist. simple rule of life. But as far as her being in movies, don't care about if, OnlyFans and all this kind of stuff. I don't care. The other thing that a lot of people have criticized her for is the amount of plastic surgery that she has gotten. Now, is it my personal preference to go above and beyond with so much plastic surgery that you don't even look like yourself anymore? No, but who am I to say you look like an idiot, you're ugly, your surgery looks terrible? That's not for me. I don't really care. It's not something that I would do for my own personal life, but there are many things to criticize her about. But the ones that I hear most often are her surgeries, procedures that she's had, and also the fact that she was in the, or could still be in, the adult entertainment industry. I don't care about either one of those, but Farrah has completely exploited her daughter, and she has her daughter working alongside her as an influencer. This has been going on for many years. Her daughter has never had the privacy of living a normal life. I hear somewhat often, not from my subscribers, but other places, that, oh, well, she's a celebrity, so of course her daughter is going to be a part of her life. There is a huge difference between sharing a photo once in a while on Instagram and having your daughter be a part of your money-making machine. And that's where I draw the line. There are so many celebrities who have children and you don't see them, but maybe once a year, or if the paparazzi happens to catch them in a grocery store and it was unintentional, the parent wasn't standing in front of the child. There are so many measures that people can take in order to not have their child be a part of the public eye. In the case of Farrah, she has gone above and beyond to incorporate her daughter into brand deals, photo shoots, TikTok videos, YouTube videos. This child is alongside her every single day, and there is absolutely zero privacy. And it's also, in my opinion, distorted her daughter's reality of what is normal, what is a normal childhood, what is what are other 12-year-olds doing versus what is she doing. And I know that having a lot of money and a lot of wealth can change lifestyles for kids, but at the same time, it doesn't equate to having your privacy, erased. And also it doesn't equate to having to be a part of your parents' money-making machine. When it comes to this topic specifically, I want to talk about it because I've talked a few times, especially recently, about homeschooling and how a lot of influencers and YouTubers will homeschool strictly so that their children are in the home during the day and they can be a part of vlogs, TikToks, all the things that the influencer is doing. They need their kid there in order for the child to be a part of it. So they start doing homeschooling. And I just want to say I've received a few more negative comments when it comes to me giving commentary on homeschooling. And I just want to say I have no issue with homeschooling. In fact, I think that it's fantastic if you are qualified to teach your children and you can provide them with a safe space to learn and be able to work on projects, and you can give them the assignment and make sure that it's actually done. But a lot of times with many influencers, what I see is them not being qualified to teach a full curriculum and assign projects and actually make sure that they're done, because what's happening is the content is taking a priority and the homeschooling is being used as a cop-out and a way for the child to be there. So I have no issues with homeschooling kids. If you homeschool, or you have in the past, or you are in the future, and you feel like you're qualified and you can manage that task, absolutely go for it. I think it's great. But the intention of a child's childhood is to make sure that they are learning and growing and not falling short when it comes to their education. And obviously, once we get through high school and get into college, that's where decisions can be made, more or less on the child's, by the child themselves. Because I know for me, I decided by my late junior year, college was not for me. That's not the road that I was going to go down. And by the time senior year rolled around, I was definitely not going to go to college. But I was old enough to make that decision for myself, and I was already working a job. I already made sure that I would be able to transition from part-time into full-time immediately. And that's the decision that I made for myself. When children are younger, they're leaning on their parents to make sure that those decisions are made for them. And not that the decisions are coming from a very selfish place, but that they are coming from a place of love and wanting to see your child grow and learn and become a productive member of society. And so I just wanted to kind of clear that, because I know sometimes it's people hear an opinion about homeschooling and they automatically think that you're against all homeschooling, and I'm absolutely not. But I also think that it takes not everyone can just homeschool their child and have it go in a meaningful direction for the child. And a lot of times with influencers and people that live their lives on social media, it's only done so that the child is in the home so that they can participate in the brand that is the family or the influencer. So it says here, teen mom Farrah Abraham slammed for homeschooling Sophia 12 in a tiny bedroom as fans fear for the isolated preteen. It says teen mom OG star Sophia 12 shared a video of her studying setup on TikTok, explaining to fans that she doesn't have a desk and works from her bed. And this is obviously the very first issue, is that when you're gonna homeschool your child, I'm not saying that they need to have an office and a huge space to work, but they need a designated desk, chair, computer, maybe a side workspace so that they can work on projects and stuff that's not on the computer. They need to have at least a feasible setup so that they're not working off of their bed. That's, and on top of it, if you want to take it one step further, in my personal opinion, I think that the setup should be outside of the bedroom, because your bedroom is designated for sleeping and, having rest time. And don't get me started. I know everyone's going to be like, oh my God, you film out of your bedroom. I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing, and I'm okay with spending 30 minutes here while I film my video, and then I go out into my living room and edit and work off of my laptop. But for a child, it's very important to have that separation of, this is where I work on school stuff and this is where I relax and sleep at night. It goes on to say Sophia panned around her narrow room in their LA apartment, which has a single bed with red and black checkered sheets, a bedside table, and large windows. She told the camera, "Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I study and work. First, get rid of any distractions. My biggest distractions are my dogs because they love my room. They never leave my room, but anyway, they have to go." The youngster then panned to her iPad, notebook, and pens on her bed and explained, "I work on my bed. I don't like desks." And that's a personal preference. That's fine if you don't like desks, but she's also a child and she should be receiving instruction from her parent and not just put into her bedroom with an iPad and a pen and a notebook and left to follow instructions. Like, there needs to be a lot of supervision when it comes to making sure that your child is actually using this time to learn and not looking at TikToks, making TikToks, and doodling in their notebook. Homeschooling is not intended to be a vacation from having to go to school. It's intended to give the child the same education that they would get at school, but in the comfort of their own home. It's not for, recess. Fans shared their concern for Sophia, claiming she seems isolated and should be socializing with other kids in school. She needs to go to a real school to interact with other kids or at least play a sport or something. She's so isolated, one wrote on Reddit. And I do agree with that. I understand the socialization part of it. Again, we're reacting to a TikTok, so I don't know if she does go out and spend time with other friends. It does seem like she's with Farrah a lot of the time. And so I don't want to speculate too much on that. I would hope that if you're homeschooling your child, you would make sure that they see friends outside of their home. And, sports are obviously fantastic, but bare minimum, it should be, let's go see your friends, let's go have a play date or, whatever. And I realize 12 is a little old for a play date, but you guys understand what I'm saying. It goes on to say she has the demeanor of a child who doesn't spend time with other children, and it makes me sad. A third posted, that room is tiny, and it does look very small according to the clip that she posted. How can she be expected to study there every day? This is not the first time that Farrah faced backlash for the parenting of her only child. Farrah recently insisted that Sophia is fine after sparking concern by admitting CPS once threatened to take her daughter away. While taking to TikTok, Sophia defended her mother's actions by telling the camera, I got a bed, I got a roof, I'm fine. I can't stand when parents want to respond to criticism or negative comments in front of their child. If it is an influencer and, their kids are around, why not take those questions not in front of your child and make sure that you're kind of protecting them from what people have to say? I don't know, if I was 12, I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to have that be one of my worries, like, oh, well, now people are talking about me online. I don't know. It just seems like so often the protection for the child goes out the window in order to have them involved in your content. And it would be so much better to, if you are going to respond to criticism, do it in a separate room. Don't do it in front of your child. And on top of it, what is she doing making TikToks by herself? It's one thing to share a picture once in a while, do a TikTok together, whatever. But when your child is literally the one making the TikToks and then being left to her own devices to make sure that she is learning, it's a huge problem. Farrah then chimed in to sarcastically reiterate her daughter's claim, saying, oh my God, I got a bed and a roof, I'm fine, and I eat and sleep, and I have good mental health. I'm like overall an amazing person. Sophia interjected to refer to the Saving Sophia plea that fans called for in recent weeks, while Farrah replied, saving Sophia is like saving Private Ryan. How did I miss the show? So obviously this is all kiki kaka for both of them, and Farrah is setting an example to say, oh, everything's funny. Let's just make a joke out of everything, even though people have legitimate concerns. And I am so tired of hearing the argument of, oh, well, she's financially taken care of. The financial part of raising a child is only a small part of what being a parent is. And so just because you have money does not mean that you are a good parent. Just because you have money and you're buying your child toys and trips and, going to fancy dinners, that does not mean that you are fulfilling your responsibilities as a parent. And I know I'm not a parent, so maybe some people won't give a shit what I have to say, but I am looking at this as a logical human being looking at this situation, and it doesn't take a whole lot to be able to reconcile that money is only a small part of it. And also, recently, Farrah was arrested for allegedly slapping a security guard at Grandmaster Records in Hollywood. Who knows? I could see that being true, but it is still an open case, so who knows? But I wanted to talk about the big issue here with her homeschooling her child, and in my opinion, not being in a position, if you're so busy being an influencer and doing photo shoots and all the nonsense that she does, how is it that you also have the time, the dedication, the patience, and the knowledge to homeschool your child and make sure that she is thriving and not just in her room making TikToks when she really should be under your supervision, under your guidance, and under a strict schedule for this is what your day is going to consist of. Once we get through all of these things, then we can make TikToks and have fun and play video games or go outside. There are so many issues with influencers homeschooling. And as soon as I saw this article, I said, I really want to talk about this because it does seem like it's a trend that is on the rise because so many people are living their lives on social media. And it's an easy way to have your child there. You can use the homeschool route. And hey, as long as your kid looks happy and healthy, nobody's going to come in here and have any issues with it. But are you really following a curriculum? Are you giving them a synopsis of what to expect over the next week? Do you have a strict schedule? Are they getting enough breaks? Are they under enough supervision? And with influencers, I think that a lot of them fall short, and that's just my opinion. So either way, tell me what you think. Have you guys homeschooled your kids? Are you doing it now? Do you plan to do it in the future? Do you feel like it's something that would be better left to teachers to do? What do you think about the social side of things? I definitely think that children having a social life is very important. But again, I don't follow them closely enough to say she never sees her friends. So I also don't want to say that. I would hope that she sees her friends, even if it's not every single day. Get out of the house. Like, let's go have lunch with your friends. Like, it's a whole mess. But either way, before I babble, that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.